It's another beautiful day here at Scalp Logic, and we have Nadine with us, and he's going to talk about his experience not only with hair loss, but with scalp micropigmentation. So when did you first find out about SMP?
So this was about, I would say, at least 5-6 months ago. Did quite a bit of research, different markets, went on a bunch of websites, spoke to a bunch of people, looked up things like hair transplants and other methods, alternative methods, and finally came across scalp micropigmentation. Initially was very hesitant, but the more I researched, the more I found out this was probably the ideal solution. And when I chose Scalp Logic, after talking to my brother and meeting with him in person, he actually went and he was sort of the guinea pig and had the procedure done.
How many guys do we have like that, Joe? How many guys?
Quite a bit, yeah. But the funny thing was, I'm the one who told him about it, and he was completely skeptical.
I love it. I
And
love it. I
so,
love it. I love it.
You know, when he came back, I was like, "Whoa, what just happened?" I was like, "Where's the procedure? Where did they do?" I was like, "You look like you have hair. Like, what's going on here?" And he told me, "No, this is my second or third session that he had done." And I looked at it and I was blown away. It was completely undetectable, and I was like, "All right, I'm in." And
so Prince is his brother, and he really did. I mean, he was a person that actually went through our Yelp reviews and called up these guys and met up with them. And I mean, we had no idea this was going on, so that was pretty crazy for us to like meet him in the consultation. He's like, "Oh yeah, so and so got it done with you and absolutely loves it. I met up with him about 2 weeks ago." And I mean, we were pretty like, wow. I mean, but that just goes to show how much research he really did. Do you feel he kind of did the research for you?
He did much more research than I did, and basically, went to different sites, even competitor sites.
Yeah, he called them.
He called people. He went in. He spoke to clients, and ultimately settled on Scalp Logic. And I think it was probably the best decision he could have made. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, was because of him. But it came full circle, basically. I'm the one who told him about it. He's the one who did the groundwork, and then here I am.
That's crazy how it works,
later,
right?
Yeah.
And so let me ask you something. So like up to 6 months ago, you had no idea about this. And what were you like? What was your day-to-day life? I mean, you knew that you had hair loss going on.
Right.
Was it affecting you? Were you kind of like in denial about it? What was your thought process, I guess?
So when I started to lose my hair, it was probably in my 20s, so pretty young.
Okay.
And it definitely had a huge impact, in those early years. And then as the years went on, you kind of start trimming your hair, or you start shaving your head, and you kind of adapt to it. But it's still in the back of your mind. It never really goes away. So it does affect your confidence on some levels.
Okay.
So it's always there. And, I tried many things as it was starting to thin out, but there was no real, I guess, semi-permanent or permanent solution. And
I feel you would have access, being a doctor, more than anybody else. Like, you would kind of know more. I mean, do you think that that's true, just because you kind of like are in the inside and you might know like more procedures that are coming out?
Of course. I mean, there's stem cell research coming out. There's always been the traditional hair transplant, but I've heard some good stories, but honestly, most of them and most of the results that I saw were not ideal. They didn't really look natural.
Yeah.
And most of those clients already had quite a bit of hair. It was just maybe a little bit of hair loss.
Gotcha.
Not somebody like me or my brother or many of the other clients that are here who have a bit more extensive hair loss, and they're okay with keeping their head sort of cropped or sort of shaved, cut short. But when I came across this sort of procedure, which at first, like I said, it might not seem convincing, but trust me, after you get it done, after the first couple of sessions, you look in the mirror and you're just completely blown away. There's no way you can detect it. And I can tell you a story about a family member who we're at a family get-together, and he's staring at me for a good 30-40 seconds, and I kind of look over at the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is this guy looking at? I hadn't seen him for a while, by the way, maybe about a year or so, and he's looking at my head because he knew I started to shave my head when it was sort of thinning, and he's looking at me closer and closer, and this was like in direct light almost, and he's like, it looks like you have quite a bit of hair. He's like, what happened? And I'm like, what do you mean what happened? He's like, you got quite a bit of hair. Don't you want to grow it out? I thought you were losing your hair. And I said, no, I just kind of keep it sort of cropped closely.
Yes.
I didn't really give away the secret.
Yes.
Yeah. So and he's like, well, there's a bunch of products on the market. He's like, I went to Costco, I saw all these oils and these things. He's like, have you used those? And I was like, nah, you probably don't want to use that. I was like, I'm still kind of thinning. I just wanted to kind of keep the, keep the story going.
I love it.
And he had no idea, completely shocked.
Because it's your choice. That's the cool thing is like you decide who you want to tell, if you even want to tell somebody.
And that was the day I just kind of want to keep it going because he clearly knew that there was something different
There's a
about
difference,
me.
Of course.
Full set of hair, but he asked me, why don't I grow it out?
Oh my
Which
gosh.
means that, essentially means that he's looking at a full set of hair,
Yes.
but I'm just keeping it a little bit, cut close or cropped together. So I thought that was just an interesting experience, and not a single person at work or my peers or anybody have really, questioned anything.
And you work with some real critical people.
Oh yeah. I work with patients, and I meet hundreds of people, every couple of weeks, and not a single person has questioned it. Even 2-3 days after the procedure is done, I go into work and nobody said anything to me. So if you want something that's truly undetectable, that that looks amazing, I mean, this is the best bet, to be honest with you.
That's it's so remarkable, like, because we hear these stories time after time after time, and it's like, then I always think of like the guys that are at home and they really just don't know that this is legit. Like, this is a real deal thing. This is something that actually works and will make a difference for their lives.
Absolutely. I think it's funny because I was with my brother Prince, and the other day he was looking at some old pictures. This was maybe about a year and a half ago, and looking at myself now, in retrospect at those pictures, and looking at myself now with the after the procedure, it's really a night and day difference. It adds about 5 years. It takes about 5 years away from your age, basically.
Because of the frame.
Because of the frame.
It's so important. Like, just when you're looking at somebody's face and you have that frame there, what it does, like that youthful appearance is what it gives it.
It's exactly what it is. I think it definitely makes you look more youthful, and just just more lively, energized, I guess, if that makes any sense.
More attractive to the eye.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And again, it's like the guys at home being able to see this and see that this is a real option. So thank you for sharing.
I most highly recommend Scalp Logic. If anybody's looking, viewing this video now, if you're on the fence about it, just come in, just talk to us, talk to anybody that's done it, and I think
that's so cool. We have so many clients that like are willing to share firsthand their experiences with anybody that's even thinking about getting this done. I mean, that's, for us, like, that's such a blessing that you guys love it so much that you're, what, I'll share whatever it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always available, so come on down.
He does not work with us, by the way.
Definitely don't work with them. This is just my own opinion, and I couldn't be happy.
Promo code Nadine.
Get 10% off.
Right.
Thank you.
No problem.